This May the 13th Picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a $25 matching deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Naira Bets. Claim your $200 deposit match bonus today at nairabets.com/SGPN200, promo code SGPN200. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is, the 12th, Monday, May the 12th. We are here to handicap a full slate of action for Tuesday, May the 13th. And joining me in what I think we can officially call it, the regular Monday Fun Day spot, is Mr. Lonte Smith. Lonte, hello, mate. How are you?
Pretty good, man. I'm glad to be back with you. I think we did pretty decently last Monday, so I'm hoping we can keep the winners coming and keep the positivity flowing as far as on the winning side of some of these games.
Yeah, completely agree with you. How was your weekend? Was it all baseball? Was the basketball still going? What's happening?
Yeah, basketball is still going on. It's just less volume now because it's only 2 series left in each conference, so 4 total. Yeah, decent base. I have baseball on in the corner, and the basketball takes up a little bit more of the day. Maybe some hockey here and there, but yeah, man, it's been pretty good, pretty fun playoffs for pretty much all the sports, whether that be basketball or hockey. So yeah, I'm looking for golf this weekend, so looking forward to that. And yeah, man, it's a fun time.
I forgot there's quite a big tournament this weekend in the golf. I'll have to
yeah.
I'll have to have a look. I've been running quite hot on the horses and the football. So a couple of times before I've gone to bed, there've been like little price boosts on the NBA and stuff, and I've messaged you and Scott a couple of times, but I just can't hit one. Like, I don't need another vice. I think probably the worst thing that could have happened is if I had hit a couple, because then I would have thought I was a basketball expert as well. It's like, I don't need this. So I think I'm like 0 for 3. So I'll just shelve that. I'll put that in a little drawer and we'll leave that. And I'll stick with my other 15 vices without number 16. Just one thing I wanted to mention on this Monday night card. Obviously, we're here to do Tuesday's games. Because we got Paul Skeens right again last week, didn't we? We faded him as a favourite. I think that was myself and you last Monday. Now, we faded him as a favourite. We went through all the games, why we like to fade as a favourite. But I think you have to back him as a dog. And I thought I would just mention it because they're plus 140 tonight against the Mets. And he's going to pitch his huge. What he's going to do is give the Pirates a chance, which at plus money is great and at minus money isn't so good. But at plus 140, I thought Skeens and Pittsburgh were worthy of a mention tonight. A few boys and girls in the chat. Jake Brubaker, JT's long-lost cousin, is here. John Cullifay enjoying the ad reads, as always. And Gio's is here as well. So if you are in the chat, by all means, say hello and give us some picks as well. We are always welcome of the help. We'll move on and get stuck into this slate after I've told you first about the D-Gens line of gear, which is live in the merch store. And to celebrate, we're taking 20% off everything with the promo code D-Gens. So I've got the SGPN cap. I've got the SGPN hoodie, which I've just taken off because it's red hot in here, actually, as it goes. So there's all sorts of good stuff in the D-Gens store. We'll start Tuesday, May the 13th action. We have no day ball at all. 6:10 Eastern first pitch is the Milwaukee Brewers at the Cleveland Guardians, where Quinn Priester will go for the Brewers. Left-handed pitcher Logan Allen goes for the Guardians, who are minus 125 favourites. The Brewers plus 105. Total here sits at 8.5. Quinn Priester did okay for 5 innings last time out against Houston. But generally, he's not been great. He's got a 5.08 ERA. He's got a 1.66 whip. And his last 2 road starts have been poor as well, Quinn Priester. Logan Allen's got quite a confusing sort of stat line game log. He's got one bad start, which gives his line quite a lopsided look. And he walks far too many batters, giving him a 150 whip. But the Brewers aren't great against left-handed pitching. Cleveland are winning 64% of their games against righties and a 12-7 at home. So they're the main two stats I picked out. Good home record, good against the righties, and I trust Logan Allen more than I trust Quinn Priester. Actually, the price is better than I thought, so I'll take the Guardians here, Lonte, at minus 125.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the Guardians as well. I took them actually today on yesterday's show. Priester's the walk issues is concerning. 3+ in 3 straight. He's coming off his worst start of the year versus St. Louis. Cleveland is at home where they're way more comfortable. Allen 2 runs or less in 4 of his last 5 starts, so he's going well there. Not going a ton of distance, but the bullpen for Cleveland is rounding into form like they usually were. They started off pretty shaky, but now they're kind of back into regular form. I do say this. I want to see his hit rate go down a little bit. It's been higher in the last 3 games, but he still pitched well in 2 of those. But still, you don't want to give a team like Milwaukee any life at all. And like you mentioned, they struggle versus left-handed pitching. So I think it's a good spot. I think it's a good price. I like Cleveland to get it done as well.
Okay, team ride to open the Monday slate with 6:35 Eastern. First pitch is the Minnesota Twins at the Baltimore Orioles. It is one of the biggest names in baseball. Simeon Woods Richardson going for the Twins. Left-handed pitcher Cade Povich will draw the start for the Orioles. Minus 130 Baltimore, plus 110 Minnesota. Total Lonte is 9.5.
Yeah, it's tough for me to take Baltimore in any aspect until I see at least a little bit of more fight and consistency. So I'm going to take Minnesota here. They swept Baltimore last week, outscored them 19-5 in that span. Their offense has really been going on. I mean, Minnesota's offense is really steady if they have those guys in there, but it's when Buxton goes down, it's when Correa goes down that they run into a little bit more of a slug. But they've scored 5+ runs in all 5 of those games. I mean, in all of those games versus Baltimore. They've won a bunch in a row. The pitching's been elite over the last 10. The only thing that is kind of holding me off a little bit of really putting a good size bet against it is they don't generally hit lefties well. They're hitting about 211 overall. But again, Povich, he's had a solid stretch, but I don't trust him. Minnesota did destroy him in his last start, 5 earned on 6 hits and 6 innings pitched. I like Woods Richardson. I think we all do. He's got a low hit rate, but he has allowed a home run in 5 straight. That's something that's concerning. But Baltimore has been struggling really, so I'm going to take Minnesota here. Baltimore's finishing up a 2-4 road trip. I just need to see something more from them until I can back them with confidence. I think Minnesota's a better team right now, obviously. So I'm going to take them. Also like the under, Mal. I like Minnesota and under.
I am absolutely with you on the Twins. It's a WTF for me. It's the wrong team favourites here. I'm astonished at these prices. Woods Richardson is steady, really steady, 4.01 ERA. Did see Baltimore last time in Minnesota. 4 2/3, 2 earned runs. Minnesota won that game 5-2. Povich pitched the night before in that series, gave up 5 earned runs in a game that Minnesota won 9-1. The Twins are hot. 8 wins in a row going into Monday. And I can't think of a single reason not to use those 2 games and Minnesota's streak as comparisons. There's nothing to make me change my mind. So at the prices, you've just got to take the Twins. I couldn't find a single reason not to. So yeah, I'm absolutely with you. Gio in the chat is right that you can't trust the Orioles at all. That they've really been less than poor, Baltimore. So yeah, I'll take the Twins at a nice plus price here. Third up, 6:40 Eastern is the one game that's off the board here. We've got 1 of 15 off the board. It's the Detroit pitcher who I've seen Cade Montero listed. Yeah, I'm now seeing TBD, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. Boston are throwing my guy Brian Bello, but yeah, no lines unfortunately on this one at all. Have you got a picture on this, Lonte? Because I saw Montero earlier on, but he's gone now.
Yeah, I saw Montero early on as well, but I didn't see lines at the end. And this was earlier this morning when I was going through my notes. But yeah, I don't see a pitcher listed. They might go bullpen game, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know what they're
Well,
going to
yeah,
do.
Detroit adore a bullpen game. It's one of their entire reasons for being. Yeah, Jackson Job's going on Monday. That hasn't changed. So, Ryan Bello has come out the traps really good. Had a slightly delayed start of the season with a little injury, but started 4 games. The Red Sox have won all 4. 2.01 ERA. Walked 5 batters last time and somehow got away with that. That's a concern, but that's unusual for him. Everyone knows I love Bello. Happy to trust him. Montero, I mean, he could follow on. I did handicap Montero. He was good at Colorado, but the form of his 2 earlier starts against the Padres and Brewers is a worry. The trends are all over, but that's kind of misleading because the Tigers just took liberties in Colorado last week. It was fucking hell. I was waking up. I was laughing. I get my cup of coffee and put my app on it like 8:15 in the morning, and I just found myself giggling at what it was like 10-1, and they weren't even close games. It was like 7-1 through 3 innings, 10-0 after 4, 5-0 in the top of the first. It was just a mess. So that has lopsided. It has skewed the overs a little bit. I prefer Boston here, but obviously the pitch has been pulled, so it's not going to be a strong play until I see who the Tigers are throwing, Lonte.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree 100%. I can't until I see a pitcher. I can't really back a price, but Bello, I like. So if he's a reasonable price on the road, I'll be on the the Red Sox. I'm sorry.
Okay, Eli has joined us in the chat. Eli is a big fan of the Mondays with Mal and Lonte. Someone has to be Eli, so we do appreciate that.
Yes.
We'll do one more game before I try and earn us some money. 6:40 Eastern first pitch is the Chicago White Sox at the Cincinnati Reds. Jonathan Cannon for the White Sox, left-handed pitcher Andrew Abbott for the Reds, who are $2 favourites here, Cincinnati, plus 175. The Chicago White Sox total here is 9.5. I bet I missed all the Pope chat last week. The Pope being a Chicago White Sox fan. That happened the day after I did my last show, so I'm probably a bit late to the party there. But yeah, can the White Sox get some divine intervention in a win tomorrow, Lonte?
Well, I don't think so. If anybody was on the mound other than Abbott, I would probably bet on those odds. But I mean, he's coming in off 9 scoreless. Obviously, not a ton of length, but he's been really good. He's 4-1 in his last 5, 2.25 ERA. The length is concerning, but again, I mean, with the White Sox, I don't know if it matters a ton. They also struggle against lefties. The White Sox, they're under 220 against lefties. The Reds, I mean, they're a weird team. They have been for me since probably 2 years ago. They had back-to-back series on the road, so they're returning home. Well, obviously not tonight. Obviously not tomorrow night, but tonight they will be. The offense has been a little bit too inconsistent. Cannon's been good. Cannon's been okay. 2 earned runs for him in back-to-back starts allowed. I would only look at the White Sox first 5. I don't want to lay $2 with Cincinnati, although Abbott is good. If you like the White Sox, I would take a flyer on them first 5, but I'm gonna probably passing this game now. A little bit too unconventional for me playing at $2 with Abbott, but I would be probably taking the plus money with the White Sox on the first 5. Although Abbott's been really good, I don't know if I can trust Cincinnati offensively to do a ton, especially with how decent Gannon has been over the past few starts.
You handicap that exactly like I did. If you wanted to take a side, bigot first 5 or full game, it's got to be the White Sox, and it would have to be the White Sox first 5. But I did like the under here. Jonathan Cannon is really steady. In fact, this Chicago White Sox rotation isn't terrible.
Yeah, it's not.
You've got a few names every night. There's some pitchers you just want to write off. I see the White Sox, I think, ooh, I like him. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
And there's more that I like that I don't like, which is surprising. The White Sox have won Cannon's last 2 starts, which plus 175 is a nice enough record. His splits tell you that he's worse on the road. But again, I think that's circumstantial here. Andrew Abbott, 9 innings scoreless over his last 2 starts. He's capable of running up a ton of strikeouts if you fancy the prop on Andrew Abbott. But Cincinnati never score when I watch him. or when I bet them. The reason I watch them is because I bet them, and they never score when I do. They were poor over the weekend. Take out the White Sox bullpen. I'm going to take a first 5 under. Cannon can go steady, and Abbott's in good form. White Sox don't hit. Reds don't hit when I'm on them. So yeah, first 5 under between the White Sox and the Reds. We'll move on. After I've told you about Naira, the Preakness is just around the corner. Achtung, I had the winner of the derby, everybody. There's no better time to get in on the action with Naira Bets. Sign up today using the promo code SGPN200. Score a $200 deposit match bonus. Head to nairabets.com/SGPN200 and claim your $200 deposit match bonus. That's nairabets.com/SGPN200. I'll be doing the main show with Sean and Ryan on Wednesday, covering the Preakness with Naira Bets, the Wolf of Oakland, and Barry the Sniper Spears will be on that show. I had to sit on that show last time with 4 people, all with really cool nicknames. And I had to sit there with Malcolm written down, just like the nerdiest, chittiest English name in the world. Like a fella called the Sniper, the Wolf of Oakland, stacking the money, and Malcolm. So we've workshopped it. I've got a great nickname coming up this week because I wasn't going into another show without a solid nickname this week. I got sidetracked there. Underdog has just launched the new ladders game. Win up to 500 times your money watching your favourite players climb the ladder. Sign up using our code MLB SGPN to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. 6:45 Eastern first pitch is the St. Louis Cardinals at the Philadelphia Phillies. Sonny Gray will go for the Cards. For the Phillies, it will be left-handed pitcher Jesus Luzardo, -150 Philly, +130 St. Louis. Total here is sitting at 7.5. I faded Sonny Gray last time, and I was wrong to do so. In fact, I think it was the fight. It was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh were rubbish. He only gave up 2 hits against Pittsburgh. He's pretty steady. Career 341 against Philly. Luzardo's been great. Last 4 games started, 25 2/3, 5 earned runs, 2.11 ERA on the season. Now, St. Louis were better at the weekend, but Washington were really poor. I don't think St. Louis will get it as easy against the Phillies as they did against Washington. Phillies in good form, 7-3 in the last 10, 13-6 at home is a good record. It's not an award-winning pick, but Philly -150. The Cards have put up an 8-game winning streak, by the way, so we'll have to see. I don't know if they play tonight, actually, Cards and the Phillies. But yeah, I would lean towards the Phillies -150 here, Lonte.
Yeah, I like the Phillies too. I like the over in the game. Sonny Gray, 10 earned runs allowed in his last 3 starts, 22 hits in that span. Luzardo's been lights out 2 or less in 4 of his last 5. But he does allow a decent amount of hits. His hit rate has been a bit high, but he's still been productive. But the hits don't turn into runs or home runs. He's got no home runs allowed in his last 5. I trust Philly at home. I think the offense of St. Louis can hit the ball well, but it's just I don't know if they can outscore St. Louis, and I prefer Luzardo over Gray, especially at home with the way that Philly's been playing. I mean, St. Louis, credit to them, they've been playing well also, but I think at home with Luzardo on the mound has been one of their better pitchers. I think they can handle business. I think the price is about right, to be honest, like in that 150 range. But I think Philly at home kind of does it for me, so I'll take the Phillies at home.
Okay, everybody wants Philadelphia tomorrow. Next is a 7:07 Eastern first pitch between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays. Tampa Bay officially TBD, have been all day, but I think it's Shane Baz going for the Rays. It will be Jose Barrios for the Toronto Blue Jays. -125 Toronto, +105 the Rays. And oddly, I haven't seen a total, probably linked to the fact that Baz isn't confirmed yet, Lonte, but Rays at the Jays, quite a tricky one to read.
Yeah, a little bit. But regardless, I think I'm going to go under. Toronto's actually been playing well as of late, but I don't know if I'm going to bet money on them and trust them here. They've won 4 in a row, all of those on the road against Seattle, Seattle is one of the hotter teams going in. Their offense has kind of got going. They scored 6+ runs in all of those games against Seattle. They're hitting the ball extremely well, nearly 290 in the last 10, about 5.3 runs per 9 on 10 hits. So Toronto's, they are coming along, but again, when they come along and I say, okay, well, they got some consistency going and I bet them, then they start losing. So I'm going to stay away, but I would look at their team total over and maybe a full game under because I don't trust Tampa's offense at all. They are averaging 3 runs per 9 in their last 10, so they're not hitting the ball particularly well. Berrios, 2 earned runs or less allowed in 3 straight. He's got a lot of swing and miss stuff. He's got 8+ Ks in 2 straight, so he's going well. So I would look at Toronto and their team total over.
Yeah, I'm normally not rushing to the window to back the Blue Jays, but I will do in this situation for a few of the reasons you mentioned. If it is Shane Baz, he's been blown up 2 games in a row, 6 earned runs, 7 earned runs, Philly and Kansas City. So a bit of a crossroads at this time of the season for Shane Baz. Berrios' form's okay, though. He walked 5 in his last start, but he's pitched okay against the Yankees. He's pitched okay against the Red Sox. Blue Jays have started putting it together, 6-4 in their last 10. And they're better at home. They're undeniably better at home. So this is a decent spot for the Blue Jays here against a fairly underwhelming Tampa Bay. They had a little streak, didn't they, about a week ago, Tampa Bay. That's what you're going to get from them. But I'll take the Blue Jays here at minus...
Yankees.
That's how it works. Yeah, minus 125. Back to the top of the page for a 7:10 Eastern first pitch between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the New York Mets, where Mitch Keller goes for the Pirates. For the Mets, it will be Kodai Senga. Minus 244, the Mets. Fairly prohibitive price there. The Pirates are plus 205. And the total sits here at 7.5. Mitch Keller, he's reliably average, which is great when you're trying to handicap a baseball game. He gives up 3 or 4 earned runs and then Pittsburgh lose. It's really straightforward. Last 2 road starts, his last 2 road starts, the Pirates lost by 4 and 5. The Pirates just aren't good enough to keep up with what sort of Keller gives away. He gives away 3 or 4. The bullpen add another couple on, and the Pirates can't get there. It's really quite straightforward. Lindor's still raking for the Mets. 360 batting average in the last 7 games for Francisco Lindor. So if you want to ride Lindor props, I would encourage that. And Kodai Senga's great. 116 ERA. Covering handicaps against bad teams. The Mets are 23-17 as run line favourites. That's good enough. So it will be, they're not going to be plus money. So maybe a Mets team total. But I'd just like Mets to cover the run line here. They've done that 4-3 in Senga's start. But a couple of those were tricky opposition. When he has played the lesser teams, the Mets have covered for him. So I like all of that. Mets on the run line, Lonte.
Yeah, I like the Mets as well. Usually I try to get creative with the with these big favorites that I like and maybe bet Senga to get a win, linked to maybe like 4 or 5 strikeouts and, something like just something like somebody to get a hit or just to have, a decent amount of action on it. If I like that side. But Senga's he's been incredible. Even though he's had back-to-back losses, he's only allowed 3 combined runs in those losses. So that just goes to show you how dominant he's been. He's only given up those runs in his last 5 starts, 0.98 ERA in that 5-game stretch. So he's been really good. And Keller, like you said, he's got 4 straight losses, but he's not been bad. He's been decent. He's only allowed over 3 runs once in a 5-game stretch. So he hasn't, in a 4-game stretch, I'm sorry. So he hasn't been horrible. I looked at that first 5 under Mal. I can pretty much bank on Pittsburgh's offense not showing up. I think Pittsburgh is the one team that I've never betted on this whole entire year. Sorry to the fans of Pittsburgh if you're listening. They just are so bad, man. Pittsburgh's a great city. Good people. You deserve better than this baseball team, man. I can't. I probably just gonna keep fading them for the rest of the year. Man, even like me and Scott both faded Skeens today. if you can't be be competitive, or like when your best pitcher, one of the better pitchers in the MLB is on the mound, like it sucks for them, man. So I'm gonna take the first 5 under, and I'm gonna take that -1.5 with you, Mel.
Lonte running scared of offending the people of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't want to offend. I don't want to offend Pittsburgh. Man, I love Pittsburgh.
You see, I feel a little bit different about the system that I mentioned at the top of the show. I'll take Skeens at plus money and fade him at minus money because he's going to give Pittsburgh a chance, but they're not good enough to win. So when Skeens is up at -130, -140, I'll fade him all day long. But he's going to give them a chance tonight, and at plus 140, I'll happily take him.
That's fair.
And that's for the Monday game, not this one, the Tuesday game, which is all about the Mets to cover the run line for me. We move on to a 7:15 Eastern first pitch between the Washington Nationals and Atlanta Braves. It is Mike Soroka for the Nats. For the Braves, it's one of the biggest names in baseball. It's Spencer Schwellenbach. Don't often get to do that gag twice in one show. The Braves are -222. The Nationals +190. And the total, Lonte, is 8.5.
Yeah, man. You know, I love the Braves. They're like a pain in my side. I can't get away from them. And it seems like I can't get them right either. When I don't bet on them, they go on streaks. When I bet on them, they lose. So for Braves fan, if Braves fans, if y'all are listening, I'm not betting you. I'm going to bet the under, Mal. Atlanta's under 8 of their last 10. Washington's offense is kind of hit or miss. They're a lot better when they're at home. Soroka's 5 straight losses, 3 of those went under. 8 earned runs allowed his last 2. And Atlanta usually hits the ball well at home, but they just haven't been able to do so, which is evident in their under in 8 of the last 10. A lot of that stuff has fluctuated. And I thought they had opportunities. They've been getting some chances with guys on base and not really converting here or there. So I'm going to take the under. I like Schwellenbach. He's had 2 straight losses. Hit rates up a little bit, 6+ hits allowed in 5 straight. But I don't really trust Washington's offense on the road. Maybe at home, but just not here in this spot. So I'm going to take the under. But if I had to make a play, it would probably be the Braves. But thankfully for Braves fans, you probably win this game 5-0.
Lube's joined us in the chat. Lube, welcome along. Nice to have you back. Mike Soroka has had 2 identical lines, which is quite helpful for us. 5 innings, 4 earned runs, and the Nationals lost to Cleveland and the Blue Jays on the run line. I watched too much of the Nationals last week because I took them in Survivor. Thought they had a 6-game homestand against Cleveland and St. Louis, and they only have to win 5. They have to go 500. So I thought they could lose a series 2-1, win a series 2-1. I might be all right. I was a bit cute, and I watched them, and they were frankly dog shit for a lot of the week. So I was never going to back them tonight. Schwellenbach's game, look, it's a little bit of a mess. But there's some stuff in there that I can forgive. A couple of the road starts, and there's a home start in there against the Dodgers, and we know the Dodgers can get anybody. 1-5 in that 6-game home stand for Washington. They didn't score nearly enough runs, and they didn't look like scoring nearly enough runs. So I'll take Atlanta on the run line here. Schwellenbach absolutely should be able to hold them. Might not be a high-scoring game, but it could be 4-1, 5-1 Lonte, which is exactly what you gave out. 7:40 Eastern first pitch. The Miami Marlins and the Chicago Cubs. That's Valente Bellozzo for the Marlins. For the Cubs, it will be Ben Brown. We've got another -244 favourites here in the Cubs, who I have taken in Survivor this week. The Cubs actually, Marlins, White Sox, 2 homestands. The entire contest will have picked the Cubs this week if they haven't already. +205 for Miami and no total as per usual for these Wrigley Field games. I wanted to mention Pete Armstrong for the Cubs, who is absolutely outstanding. Really good with the glove, flashing his glove all over. He's hit 10 home runs since April the 13th. Can't believe we haven't really got on board with him in dingers yet, because he's the man who's been hitting them. So keep your eye out on PCA. Bellozzo, he's had his good starts are outnumbered his bad starts. Doesn't go deep into games, walks too many. And and he's got one career start at Wrigley where he did get lit up. Ben Brown, I've struggled with. He struggles for consistency, which means I've struggled when I've tried to handicap him. But he's really struggled at home. He's had 5 starts there now, 7.91 ERA, 14 walks in 5 starts for Ben Brown at home. To the over against right-handed pitching, Miami 17-12, Chicago Cubs 18-12. That was all I needed. Didn't really fancy either pitcher, particularly Brown at home. Both teams are going over. So when we get a nice total, I'll be looking to take the over in this one, Lonte.
Yeah, I like over as well. I've been on record saying yesterday for today's games, I like PCA to hit a home run. He was my home run pick.
Oh, so you got him last night?
I'm glad you like it.
No, I've just absolutely mushed you, Lonte. Sorry.
Yeah, I picked him to go yard tonight, so hopefully he does that.
Sorry.
But I think this is going to be a good series for the Cubs at home. They kind of needed it because they played a tough schedule, and they've been kind of 500-ish over the last handful of series. So I think it's a good spot for them against a Miami team. Belozo coming off his worst start of the year, like you said, he was solid before. I kind of it sounds like I like Brown a little bit more than you. He's coming off 6 scoreless, 1 earned in 3 of his last 4, and he's faced some of the better offenses in the league: Philly, Arizona, the Dodgers, the Padres. So I give him a little bit of a leeway there for some of the struggles that he's had in some of those games. But I think the Cubs team total over. I think the full game over is going to be the best play here. So I'm in agreement with you there.
Yeah, I don't dislike him. I just get him wrong. He's another one that over my morning coffee, I think, he's done the opposite of what I thought he was going to do every single time. So this will be 1-0 tomorrow, guaranteed. 8:05 Eastern first pitch is the Colorado Rockies at the Texas Rangers. Left-handed pitcher Kyle Freeland for the Rockies. For the Rangers, it is Jack Leiter, who are -222. This is the chalkiest slate I think we've done so far this season. 5 or 6 games north of $2 favorites. Plus 190 for Colorado. Total Lonte 8.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I can't even make out of all the ones that are on the board, I can't make a case for the dog, especially not in this specific spot. Colorado fired the coach. I don't know if that's going to help anything, but Texas has started to play a little bit better offensively. I mean, their pitching staff is great. They just can't get any runs. But Leiter's coming off his worst start of the year. He's got 6 earned to see. He allowed 6 earned to Seattle on 8 hits. He's had 3 combined earned runs in his 3 prior starts. So maybe he's somewhere in between. But this is the worst offense that he's faced. So maybe he'll get back into form. I mean, not much to say about Colorado. I mean, Freeland's allowed 5+ in 3 of his last 5. He's got a high hit rate. So I think Texas can bounce back here. I'm going to take Texas team total over. I would lay 2.5 runs maybe to get plus money. I think the Rangers kind of can get things going offensively and get some momentum going into the end of the month. Maybe because I think they got a, if I'm not mistaken, their schedule for next month is kind of like, it's kind of up there. I have to look at it again to confirm, but yeah, I think they need all of the momentum they can going into that tough part of the schedule. So I like the Rangers team total over. I wouldn't be opposed to laying the 2.5 runs either.
Right, you're going to love my pick here, Lonte. Freeland's absolutely miles away. He's completely unbackable at the moment, as are Colorado, really, to win games, even if they did halt that 7-game skid last night with a win against the Padres. But Leiter doesn't convince me. He's given up loads of stuff too. 10 earned in his last 2, 10 walks in his last 3. The Rangers aren't great against left-handed pitching. And 8-3 to the under. So it was hard to pull the trigger on anything Texas related at that price. I'm going to take the Rockies team total. So you've gone for the Rangers team total over. I think they can get to Leiter. I'm going to take the Rockies team total over, which, with a game total of 8.5? What are we looking at, Lonte? 3.5, 4, 3.5?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, 3.5, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, we get 4 runs out of the Rockies tomorrow. I felt a bit sorry for Bud Black getting sacked. Like, nothing that's happened in Colorado. Everyone whose fault it was, I think he would be bottom of the list. But actually, they've got a few young hitters who did some bits and bobs over the weekend. So, bit of a new manager bounce, bit of a new set of eyes in there. And the Rockies can get us 4 runs tomorrow off Jack Leiter. 8:10 Eastern first pitch is the Kansas City Royals at the Houston Astros. We have two lefties going to the hill in Kris Bubic for the Kansas City Royals and Framber Valdez for Houston. -140 the Astros, +120 the Royals. Total here is at 7.5. Bubic generally good, but Houston did get to him for 4 earned runs back on April the 27th in a game that the Astros won 7-3. Decent comp if you want it. Valdez has only had 3 home starts, not much home comforts for Framber Valdez. So back at home where he has been okay. This is really tight. But to split them, I use the home road records, as simple as it sounds. I've got no problem with Valdez particularly. And also, actually, I did watch Kansas City on Sunday night against Boston. So I might be talking through my pocket because I wasn't particularly impressed with their offense. Houston are 13-8 at home. Kansas City Royals are 8-11 on the road. So that, coupled with a recent comp game between the two, I will take Houston, Lonte, at -140, please. We might have just lost Lonte temporarily. A few gremlins in the system. We can get Lonte's thoughts on the Royals and the Astros when he returns, when he gets back. We've got a 9:40 Eastern first pitch next between the LA Angels and the San Diego Padres, where Jose Soriano draws the start for Los Angeles and Dylan Cease goes for the Padres, who are -190, so not quite touching $2, +170 for the Angels and Soriano. Total here is at 7.5. Lonte is back. Sorry, mate, we lost you then.
No. Yeah, it was my computer. My computer was about to die. I needed to grab my charger real quick.
Oh, okay, no bother. Give us your handicap of the Houston Royals game, and then you can go straight into the Padres when you've done that for me.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm sorry if I'm regurgitating anything that you said, but I like Kansas City. I like Bubic. He is coming in off 12 scoreless innings. No earned runs allowed in 3 of his last 5. Not allowing a lot of contact. 1 home run allowed in his last 5. Me and Scott actually handicapped Framber yesterday, so I was pretty familiar with him. And he's lost 4 of his 5 starts. He's been underwhelming coming into what we are accustomed to seeing from him. But he has been a little bit better as of late. 2 earned runs or less in 4 of his last 5. He does have 11 earned in his other 2 games, but I think at this price, I think Kansas City is the right side. They've been playing extremely well. Houston's kind of just fluctuating between, they'll win a few, they'll lose a few, they'll win a few, they'll lose a few, and then they'll just alternate between losses and wins. So a little bit less consistent than what Kansas City has been as of late. So I like Kansas City for this specific game. Is that what you like? Did you like Kansas City?
No, mate. I was Houston, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I found it really tight. It was the home record and the road record, which I used to split them because I had no real issue with Houston, with Valdez or Bubic. And I did watch Kansas City on Sunday night, and they didn't have much offense against the Red Sox.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, we can go into the Angels and the Padres. I mean, the Padres are they're coming off that beatdown of whatever it was over the weekend. Man, they were hitting the ball extremely well. I like Cease. He's won 3 of his last 4 starts. He is not going a ton of distance, under 5 innings pitched in 3 of his last 5 starts. His hit rate has been a little bit high also, but I don't really trust the Angels to kind of take full advantage of it. Soriano, 4 straight losses. He's not been horrible though. His hit rate has been a bit high, but teams aren't converting on the runs they're not converting the hits to runs. So I think that might be due for a little bit of regression there. So I'm going to go with the over, and I like San Diego minus that 1.5.
Soriano's actually been okay on the road.
He's fine.
4 starts, 2.42 ERA. But it doesn't really matter because the Angels just get hammered even if he pitches well. They've lost his last 5 on the run line. Dylan Cease has been very, very steady in his last 5. He's given up maximum 2 earned runs. The Padres' home record is still stellar, 14-4. And they're 23-14 on the run line as a favourite. So that was as far as we needed to go here. You're right. The Padres can put up big totals like they're absolutely capable. We'll take the Padres on the run line. Next game on the card is the game of the night, I would suggest, 9:40 Eastern, between the New York Yankees and the Seattle Mariners. We have left-handed pitcher Max Fried for the Yankees. For Seattle, it will be Brian Wu. Plus 120 Seattle, minus 140 New York. I haven't seen a total, Lonte, on this one. Have you got a total on this at all? Or
I don't see a total either. Yeah, I don't see anything.
Okay, so I mean, Max Fried, I would suggest, has been the best pitcher in the game. I don't think I'm over-egging the pudding there. Last 4 starts, 27 2/3, 1 earned run. It's hard to pick holes in that at all. Brian Wu has been up and down, but much better at home. 1.38 home ERA. He hasn't pitched at home since April the 12th against Texas, where he pitched 7 innings and gave up 1 earned run. It's really chalky, and it just seems obvious to want to take the under in this situation. Seattle offense has been much better than they were last year. The Yankees, again, like the Padres, putting up big numbers. Aaron Judge, the Judge got on with the bases loaded last night against the A's, and you just knew it was going to be mayhem. And what he didn't try to hit the granny out the ball, he just served it into right centre field and moved I think it was a 2-run single or something. Aaron Judge is just absolutely outstanding. But these two pitches have been great. Maybe the total is
7.5 is what I saw. I just saw it. 7.5.
7.5. Okay, we'll take that. We'll take someone to win 4-3. We'll catch the under, Lonte.
Yeah, man. I mean, Max Fried's been completely like one of the best pitchers in the league, and the Yankees always play well when he's on the mound. He's been just so elite. I can't say enough about him. And I actually was, I don't want to go in on my takes. Hopefully nobody goes in and see that I didn't really like Max Fried coming to the Yankees. But I was so wrong about that, man. He's been really good. He's going really deep into games. But if you look on the other side, Wu's been good as well. His hit rate has been a little bit high, and his K rate is high as well. So he's kind of like feast or famine. He's got 6+ hits in 3 of his last 5, but he also has 6+ Ks in 4 of his last 5. And he's also going distance as well. So I think we're going to get a true pitcher's duel, Mal. I like that 4-3 score. So I like the under. I'm going to go with the Yankees on the road, but I'll do you one better. I think 3-2 going to be our final score. 3-2 Yankees.
Okay. Correct. Alt under and a correct score for Lonte. Love it. The great Lane Gretzky's joined us in the chat. Lane, welcome along. Nice to have you with us. We've got 2 games left for you, Lane. We'll get you a double up here. 9:45 Eastern first pitch is the Arizona Diamondbacks at the San Francisco Giants. It will be Brandon Pfaadt for the D-backs. For the Giants, Robbie Ray, left-handed pitcher. This is a match on the books, minus 110 each of 2, with a total Lonte of 7.5.
Yeah, this is a tough game. Who do you have pitching for Arizona again? I'm sorry.
Brandon Pfaadt.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah. I mean, Arizona's played a tough schedule. They played the Dodgers, the Mets, the Phillies, all in a row. So a lot of their metrics are kind of skewed because they were facing those teams when they were kind of like either at the top of their rotation or right there, like they were maybe getting a second guy. And Brandon Pfaadt's been decent. I mean, he's won 4 of his last 5, 6 earned runs allowed in his last start, but he only allowed 4 in his prior 4 starts combined. 18 hits allowed in the last 2 starts. So he wants to kind of keep the ball on the ground. San Francisco, 500 last 10. They've lost 3 straight. I like Robbie Ray. He's cleaning up the walks. He's had 3 walks in his last 2. He's 5-0 in his last 5. ERA of 3, 2 or less in 4 of his last 5. He's going deeper into games, which he typically doesn't do. He's got 7 innings pitched in his last 2 starts. All that to say this, Mal, it was too tight for me to call. I'm going to bet the over. I'm going to bet both teams, both offenses to kind of get things going. I know the pitchers may be going a little bit better than what I think they are, but I think both offenses will prevail. So I like the over.
I like my play in this one. I'm quite enamored with what I've got here. Brandon Pfaadt bounced back from his worst start of the season last time, 6 innings scoreless against the Dodgers, which is impressive in anybody's books. Robbie Ray's been great 2 5 earned runs in his last 4 starts. The total looks low. I totally agree with you there. But there's a couple of trends here that make me want to take the Giants, which is the Diamondbacks are 4-7 against lefties. The Giants are 22-8 straight up against right-handed starters. That's a big old number, 22-8. So at -110, I'm going to take the Giants. Final game on the board is a Cowboy time, 10:10 Eastern first pitch between the Athletics and the LA Dodgers. A's are officially TBD, but we've got lines, so I'm fairly confident in saying it's Jeffrey Springs who will go for the Athletics. For the Dodgers, it is Landon Knack, and the total is at 9.5. Jeffrey Springs, his last 2 have been better, so I hope that Jeffrey Springs can continue that. I like him. I want him to go okay. He needs to continue that trajectory, even though this is a tough assignment. It's worth looking at his splits. It's worth looking at all the Athletics pitcher splits due to that little league ballpark that they're playing in. And his 4 road games have been decent. 3.26 ERA. Landon Knack has had 2 starts in a row. They've been okay. The Dodgers' 15-3 home record is quite a mountain to climb. But the A's are 13-7 on the road as well. The last note I've got here says, I will take the Athletics if they're bigger than 150. And the odds have come in at +175, Lonte. So, big dog tomorrow. We've got the Athletics to win at the Dodgers, Lonte. You're fist pumping. Is it a team right?
Yeah, man, I like the A's. I've been talking about them all year. They've been playing steady. They've been competitive. Their young guys are really, man, the top of their lineup is young. They're powerful. They get on base. They hit timely. They have timely at bats. Like, I love the top of their order. I wish they would have a little bit more pitching. Like, maybe they do so at the deadline. I'm not sure, but they're hitting the cover off the ball right now. They're hitting about 275 on 10 hits in their last 10. Springs 2 earned runs combined in his last 2. After allowing 12 in the previous 3. So he's getting a little bit better there. Hit rate's not been as high, 5 or less hits allowed in 4 of his last 5. The Dodgers are back home after 3 straight series on the road. Maybe a little bit taxing on them here. I'm not really a fan of Knack. I mean, he's okay. But if you look at the offenses he's faced over the last 5, he faced Miami twice, Colorado, Washington, and San Diego. I mean, San Diego, I'll give you, his ERA is 4.79 in that span. So I don't really – and the Athletics, we just talked about their offense, how it was. They've been hitting the ball. So it's a chance that they could get to him. And maybe these metrics in his last 5 games are a little bit overbearing. So I'm going to take the A's. I'm also going to take the over. I think, obviously, with the Dodgers offense, you can't go wrong with taking the over with them. And I think the A's will score their fair share of runs. So I like the A's. I'm going to bet the first 5 in the full game. Just going to split a unit in half and do so. So I'm going to take the A's in both facets of the game.
Excellent. I'm pleased we both got to that one, Lonte. That's good news. 15 games in the books. Lock and dog time. Now we're doing regular Mondays. We can take turns to go first with lock and dog. However, I can't remember who went first last week. So we'll let you go first this week. And I'll go next. I'm going to write it down though as well. Lonte in big letters. Hit us with a lock and dog.
Yeah. So let's go with I'm trying to figure out how I can do this because I was going to give out Philly. I really was because I think Philly is going to be a good price at home. I mean, is a good price at home, and I don't want to give out the Yankees. So let's go with something under 130. Let's go with at the top of the card, Cleveland Guardians at home. Logan Allen, I like them at home. I think he's pitched okay. Priester, kind of feast or famine. Don't like the way Milwaukee played on the road. So let's take Cleveland at home. That's -125 on that. And Mal, if I know you like I think I know you, you're going to take the Twins as your dog. So I'm not going to take the Twins.
That's correct, yes.
I'm not going to take the Twins. I knew that, and I'm not going to take the Twins. So instead, I will take I was about to say the Minnesota Twins. But that's who I really wanted to take, though. But I will take I'm trying to find the price. I'm sorry. I would take the A's at plus 170 on the money line, plus 170. And we just talked for all the reasons that we just talked about.
So athletics is a dog for Lonte. Yeah, you're right. I will take the Twins plus 110. You know me too well, it turns out. Dogs. I mean, look, the load of these $2 favourites. I would really like to take the over in the Marlins and Cubs, but we haven't seen the number come up. I'm guessing I'll take the Padres on the run line. Of all these run line teams that we've sort of given out, these shorties, the Braves, the Mets on the run line, the Padres look the best price really, because it doesn't matter what Soriano does, and the Padres can run up the sequence. 6 has been great. So the Padres on the run line. And finally, Lonte, have you got a home run pick for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with let's go to Toronto. I might be scared to bet them, despite them playing well. But let's go with Vladimir Guerrero. Let's go with Vladdy tomorrow to hit one. I'm trying to find his numbers. He is actually he's hitting the ball pretty well. He's had multi-hits in 2 of his last 4. He hasn't hit a home run since May 1st. So I would say that he could possibly be due for one. No better place to do it than against Boz if he's actually pitching, because he's got a low K rate. He's allowed 8+ hits in his last 2, 5+ runs in 2 of his last 3. So I think he's the perfect candidate to hit one tomorrow. So let's go Vlad Guerrero Jr. tomorrow to hit one long.
So you didn't steal my dog, but you did steal where I wanted to go for a home run play. So I will avoid. Yeah, you got me eventually. I'll avoid Toronto. I'm going to go mad here. I'm going to take a Colorado Rocky. I'm not having Jack Leiter. I like this Colorado team total. So we will go for Hunter Goodman. I think he's catching nowadays. He used to be a first baseman, and he's catching anyway. He's batting clean up. Rockies. So getting the new manager bounce, Colorado. We'll take Hunter Goodman off Jack Leiter at the Rangers. Lonte, beautifully done. Anything you want to tell the people before we let them go?
No, that's it, man. Good show. I appreciate it, man. Hopefully we can get to the window tonight for me and Scott, and then tomorrow for me and you.
Yeah, agreed. Aaron, missed Aaron in the chat. He just joined us the last few minutes. Aaron, you'll have to, if you want the winners, you'll have to have a little look back. The Premier League Gambling Podcast is going to start in about 90 seconds. If you're really keen and want to listen to me and Baz break down some soccer action. Preakness week, as I said, so keep your eye out. There'll be all sorts of things, articles on the website. Pick show with Sean and Ryan and Chase and Barry, our pony experts. So look forward to that. And obviously Scott, Lonte and D-Rock keeping you across all of the MLB action the rest of the week. Thanks, Lonte. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody else. And we will see you all down the road.